All right, hello everybody. Welcome to the next episode of the Sport Port. Today I'm just going to go over a few things here. Not a ton of news that I really wanted to talk about, but we're going to talk about yesterday, and we're going to talk about Sunday because we had a perfect Sunday and Monday, almost a perfect week. I know on Thursday we missed Naheem Hines and something else, but otherwise we got like 3 correct picks. So definitely up after this week. Was great. Then we're going to go over the Panthers, what's going on there, and the Jags doing exactly what I said, where they come back to earth because they were looking too good there for a bit against bad teams that were already really injured, and now they're not doing that, and they just lost to the Texans. So I'll get into that more. And then we're also, since this would be a very short video going over that stuff, we're going to hop into a resurrection draft. Underdog Fantasy, they have from week 6 to 17, I believe. It is, 6 to 17. They have more drafts, and it's going to be interesting to see how, the people that are picked in there first, when it would, like, I guarantee, like, Saquon Barkley is going to be, like, first or third overall or something, right? When normally he was, like, a second round pick at the beginning of the year. So, just interested to see some stuff like that. But that's going to be the last thing we do. So let's hop into Sunday and Monday here. Sunday, we had 5 picks. We did what we always do, where we get something we're confident in, and then we add points. And because we added the points, all of these hit. So we got a plus 476 parlay at the time of me doing the video for it. That hit on Sunday. Seahawks won that one, plus 10.5. So that was nice. I don't think if you took the other spread they were originally giving you that you would hit that. Falcons plus 17.5. That one hit. 49ers minus 1.5 hit easily. Eagles minus 1.5. That one hit, but it was kind of closer. But hey, it hit. Then we got the Cowboys plus 10.5. That one easy. The Cowboys won, so we had them winning plus 10.5. So that one was good for us. Plus 476. I hope we can keep that streak going because we did keep it last night. Raiders plus 10.5. They would have covered the normal spread, but we bought the points just to be a little more safe. Then Waller less than 11.75 fantasy points. I was thinking he was just going to look bad originally because Hunter Renfrow is back in and he hasn't looked great so far. So, but then he got injured on like the 6th play of the game, and by the second half he was over there in a sweatshirt, right? So that was good for us. Hopefully it gets better, obviously. But then Mahomes and Kelsey, clearly the guys that you wanted to have last night. Mahomes had 4 touchdown passes, and Kelsey had 4 touchdowns. So that was great for us. They both smashed their fantasy points there. Easy win last night. Sunday, feeling great about that. Thursday is going to be interesting. We'll talk about that more on Thursday. I'll keep tomorrow and today for other stuff because Thursday is Commanders Bears, and that's going to be an interesting one. But yeah, so very good week for us. Like I said, last Thursday, we did have Naheem Hines on the over on receptions, and then he got injured immediately when it looked like he would have got it. So that sucks, but it is what it is. Injuries can hurt you or help you. Yesterday, Waller less than the fantasy points. It did help us that he was injured because we picked that, right? So very good with that. That's awesome. And then we can come over here and let's talk about the Panthers, right? So had a perfect weekend, and the Panthers did not. They got crushed by the 49ers. Matt Rule got immediately fired. I believe their defensive coach or coordinator got fired as well. Baker Mayfield is out, so it's going to be they're going to have PJ Tucker in there. And then I saw some stuff going around about Christian McCaffrey and like DJ Moore getting traded and that. I'd love to see that. I would love to see like DJ Moore on the Chiefs. Not because I want the Chiefs to be even better than they are, but just so DJ Moore can have an amazing QB. I want to see DJ Moore with a good QB so badly. But Chiefs would have to give up a bit for that. If anybody wanted Christian McCaffrey, you are giving up the next 5 years worth of picks Like, you're not going to get McCaffrey or Moore for cheap, especially because I believe they both have pretty decent contracts. So I don't think anything is really going to happen there. It'd be definitely interesting to see. I think if either of them are going to get traded, it would probably be DJ Moore, unless like they demand a trade, which I know McCaffrey was, something came out like he's not happy. Who is? You're on the Panthers with a coach who just got fired that can't call plays, with a QB that's going to overthrow your running back on a just out route, like that's 5 yards away from him. Of course you're not going to be happy. Like, who would be happy? I don't think anybody that is a Panthers fan, on the Panthers, in the organization, their janitors probably aren't happy to be there, right? Like, nobody, I don't think, is happy for that. But I do hope to see DJ Moore. I just hate seeing talent wasted, happens a lot of the times with these bad franchises like the Panthers or the Lions or something. They'll get these really, really good talents, and then they'll waste their entire careers until DJ Moore retires early, right? Like, it's bad. It's not what you want to see, but it's what happens, and I wouldn't be surprised if that is what happens. I just don't know how much they're going to be asking for. I feel like it's going to be too much, and then they're not going to do it. But they might be better with PJ Tucker. We'll see what happens. We'll see who ends up being the head coach there. But that'll be interesting. I mainly want to talk about the trades. I already talked a little bit yesterday about the actual firing and that. So I don't think they're going to happen. I hope they do. But they're going to be asking for too much, I feel like. They're going to be asking for more than people are want to give up, So we'll see exactly what happens there. Like I said, hope for the best for the good players on that team, that they can get out of there, and the bad ones, because they might just be bad because they're on the Panthers. So we'll see exactly what happens. But I am excited to see if anybody gets traded from there. That could definitely boost some, if the Bills get Christian McCaffrey, like, there's your Super Bowl, right? Like, it is what it is. But the chances of that are pretty low, in my opinion. They'd have to give up a lot. So we'll see what happens. But that could be very interesting for the future. And now here's something that I was preaching. The Jags went against the Colts, and they blew them out. And then people were talking, and everybody was hyping up the Jags, and they're top 15 team or whatever, right? Like, top 16 team, top 15 team. No, like, they're all right, but they just went against two. I can't remember who I know they went against the Colts when the Colts were extremely injured, and that. But there's another team too, and I was just like, yeah, they were both very injured. Like, that's. They went against the Chargers and won by a lot. Right after, like, the Chargers had Justin Herbert's rib cartilage get broken. And I don't think they had Keenan Allen, and they had a bunch of players injured for the first week. There's also a difference between, if Justin Herbert's been out that whole year and they kind of are getting used to it and whatever, that's one thing. But it's like, it's your first week of being injured in that. Like, people were hyping up way too much, especially after that Colts win, because, once again, the Colts are a bad team already, and then they were super injured, and everybody wanted to act like the Jags were so good all of a sudden. They're all right. They're decent. I traded away Christian Kirk, so, that kind of shows where I am on it. But, yeah, Michael Pittman, he just offered me it straight up, and I was like, absolutely going to take that. But I don't know. So they, aren't a terrible team, but they're still the Jags. They're not that great or anything, unless you go against a really, injured team. I don't know. They're just, any team is you could take the Panthers and you put them against the Chargers, and the Chargers have, 6 starters out and one with broken rib cartilage or fractured or whatever. Like, that's gonna happen. So I called that one, That one was an easy one to call. I felt like people were definitely overhyping them, but who knows? Maybe they'll come back and then they'll prove me wrong after proving me right, and we'll see exactly what happens. Maybe it's too early to say. Maybe it was just a bad week for him against the Texans. But we'll see what happens. So now we'll just hop into Resurrection. I'm not gonna have my thing up in this. I mean, I can, but we will grab the screen capture here, and then we are going to have. We'll take me actually. Throw my guy up here. And then we got this guy right there. So, you can look in here. Best Ball Resurrection. Hop right on in. Just get into it. Wait here, and yeah, so what do we got? Cooper Kupp first overall makes sense. They haven't been winning, but he gets 10, receptions a game. Justin Jefferson, that's fine. Saquon, Stephon, that's good. Where is Jamar Chase is still going here? That's a bit surprising because he's looked awful. So, yeah, he has not looked that great so far. But we'll see exactly what happens here. So when we're going in, we'll be able to see in a second here. We can come down here. So it's 6-17. Obviously, you got your prize breakdowns and whatever. I'll probably only do like one or two of these. And then we're going to go through. I'm going to draft my team. We'll see exactly how everything goes. And then I will go into my exposure just to see how different it is. But yeah, so we got qualifiers 6-14, 15, 16, 17. So now this gets hard because you're going to be looking at a lot of probably your later round guys just because week 17, a lot of starters are going to be sitting out. Just don't tell me I got like 10. Where am I? Second overall pick. So, this is hard. Do I go Justin Jefferson? Do I go Saquon? I don't know. But we are going to be looking here. We're going to go all the way down. And we're looking at here. So you need 1 QB, 3 receivers, 2 running backs, flex, tight end, a bunch of bench. So, we'll take Cooper Kupp if possible. I don't like Cooper Kupp. I don't want him on my team. I don't want to root for him. But he gets just that many receptions a game. It's hard to say no, right? So otherwise, we'll take Justin Jefferson. Saquon is obviously extremely, extremely good, but a lot of if we've learned anything this year so far, it's that wide receiver first was kind of the way to go. So, with just all these running backs getting injured and that, receiver is probably the way to go. Let's see what this guy picks. I never really had. That is one thing you'll notice is like I had like one draft. I got Jonathan Taylor. Because for some reason, over and over again, literally probably 75% of my drafts, I got either the 10th, 9th, 10th, or 11th spot. Every draft. I don't know why. I would specifically beforehand just be like, please don't give me the 10th pick. Just anything earlier than give me the 7th, 6th, something lower. Just to see what happens, because, there were guys I was targeting. Like, I really wanted Austin Eckler and Dalvin Cook. Those were my 2 first-round, guys that I really wanted, right? And I didn't get him that much. I got him a lot of the time. Dalvin Cook would fall, but Austin Eckler would never fall that far. And, some of these guys are kicking it back up. So, in a lot of my leagues that I'm in on this, I have Dalvin Cook in a lot of them. Dalvin Cook hasn't looked great so far. But then he just had a really good week here, so I'm hoping he can pick it up in that. But, all right, these first 3 picks have kind of gone how you would expect. Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson. Yep. This is literally going by the ADP right now. But also, one thing that I learned is it's very important to have that good QB. So we're probably going to target QB pretty early, just because I'm in one league. I have Jalen Hurts, and I'm doing pretty good. I went on a bit of a rant one time just because I had like the 4th most points scored in the league. Like, that's fine. That is a decent amount. That means you are beating more than half the league. But then I had 600 Yeah, no, it was 509 points scored against me in 4 weeks. The next closest was 408. So I had over 100 more points scored against me than anybody else did. So I was 1-3. Like, because what am I supposed to do about that, right? So you're looking at that and it's rough out there sometimes. But I feel perfectly fine about that league because I have like Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown and stuff like that good stack. And now in my other league, really good just core, right? Like really good players in that. But my starting QB is Kirk Cousins. You know, I have Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs, Leonard Fournette, James Conner, who I haven't been starting a ton, George Kittle, Ramondre Stevenson now, Jamal Williams has been great. Like, you know, pretty good for that. But then Kirk Cousins will lose me games because he'll go out and he'll score, 15 points, which isn't awful. But when I go against Josh Allen and he scores 40 every week, what are you going to do? So Jamar Chase has fallen a little bit here. Jamar Chase obviously has also been quite the disappointment in that league, but he was my keeper, so not a huge deal. But yeah, so if we're looking here, I'm probably going to want to go, I don't know, Geno Smith or something, I guess. I mean, you already got those top tier guys gone we're looking at. So it's a little hard to see, but you got Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, all gone already. We are still quite a few picks away. So that's rough. But I am much more of a, if I don't get one of those top guys, it's like with tight end. If you don't get like Travis Kelce and Mark Andrews and that, just wait, right? Like you get TJ Hawkinson pretty late. You can get some of these guys super late, or you pick Kyle Pitts in the first round or 3 rounds, and then you're kind of screwed, right? So just waiting on this. He was probably wanting that stack. I would if I was him. Christian McCaffrey going 11th overall is pretty crazy. But yeah, people kind of realized how important that, first thing of QB is. I did not mean to do that. But yeah, people, you just don't realize, I guess, with the, this new generation of QB and that just how important that is. Because you go into it and you're thinking like, all right, Josh Allen might score, 26 points per game, every week or something like that. And, Kirk Cousins is going to score, 20. So, yeah, 6 points different between them. But that's not how it's been. It's been Josh Allen is scoring 40 a week. And then the next region there is, still 20. So, it's huge difference there. We're about to come up, though. So, we already got one receiver. And You see, I might go. This is rough. This is hard. Because Dalvin Cook could be good. But, Leonard Fournette's good. Joe Mixon could be good. We're going to have 2 picks here. So, who'd they pick? Joe Mixon. So, I do like Dalvin Cook a bit. I like Mike Evans. I like Breece Hall. But I think we're going to go Dalvin Cook. I've liked him a lot in the preseason and that before the season started and all that. I drafted him a ton. I like him a lot. We'll see exactly what happens here. I have him in my one league that I have like the most points scored against me by far, but let's see what's going on here. So we're going to be able to get another one of these guys. I'm not going to go Swift. He went Fournette. So could go, we're looking at Dalvin Cook and, we got the Vikings stack. That's not very good. I didn't even realize that, but it's fine. So we'll probably go Breece Hall here maybe. So I usually don't like doing this, getting like a running back receiver stack, because limits your upside. Dalvin Cook gets a touchdown, great, but, kind of takes it away from Justin Jefferson maybe. So they kind of took the other guys, so I guess I'll go Mike Evans. He's just a good all-around pick, right? So I might do another one after this as well. Gonna run a little bit out of time maybe, but honestly, when we're waiting there, we can hop into another one. So Hopefully we don't get like the number 2 spot again. I hate when it does that. But we'll just hop into 2 at the same time. We'll be able to hop back and forth and see. So I'm not too worried about that. But now we got another one. So we'll be able to come in here and we'll be able to look at these and just go pick whichever one. So you can look at this. We can just draft it from here if we want to. So then we got this one. We'll see what spot we get. We don't. We kind of do want to get some of the same players. So if I get the option to get Dalvin Cook, I'll probably do that, right? Like if it's good value and whatever, because you can look at it 2 ways. You got. I guess it depends on if you're looking for like the $10,000 or whatever, right? Because if you take that and you got the, you want the $10,000 one, that's what you're aiming for. Maybe you do break it up a bit. But if you're just looking to make money, if I get into 5 drafts, right, and then I win, $30 on one of them because I picked all different teams in them, that doesn't, I lose money, right? But if I pick all 5, some of the same players here and there, obviously you don't want the same exact team. That's not going to be possible to just get. So what spot are we here? 10. Just talking about it. Always the number 10 spot. But, yeah, so when we're looking at that, if I can get, Justin Jefferson, I would probably grab him again, right? Just because then you're getting those wins at the same time, consistently, where then, I won, $30 here, $10 here, and, $50 here. Now I'm up some because you got kind of the same team. So it's more of, an all or nothing thing there. Because would you rather win one or would you rather win a lot there? So Aaron Jones has fallen a little bit. DeAndre Hopkins is as well, just probably because, he's out pretty much. But yeah, if we're still 10 picks away, so we're going to be down here a little bit. Josh Jacobs isn't terrible. He just looked good last night. I'm surprised he's that low. Devontae Smith has looked good. Some of these guys I'd be fine with. So what do we got going on over here? We'll go into it just for a minute because it's going to hit us somewhat soon. Cooper Kupp, Justin Jefferson, Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen, Nick Chubb. Nobody wants Saquon? Could you imagine if I got Saquon at the 10 spot? Whoever is getting Saquon here is extremely lucky already. Wow. There's still... Nobody wants Saquon, huh? I mean, I'm going to get somebody good here, but Saquon would obviously be the best option. So we'll see exactly what happens there. Lamar Jackson. Come on. You don't want Saquon Barkley. What do you want Saquon Barkley for? Damn. Yep, that guy got crazy good value. Good for him. So, yeah, we're going to take Christian McCaffrey here probably. Or Mark Andrews. Getting that, high-level guy right off the bat. You want outliers at your position. And that's what he is. So, we're still closer in this one. Some good guys we can get here. It's crazy how Jonathan Taylor is now a 2nd-round draft pick. But, with him being like the consensus first overall pretty much. But we'll see what happens here. So, now I'm good on tight end. Mark Andrews and Travis Kelce are like the 2 outliers there. That's, if you can get one of them, you probably want one of them. So, we're really close in both of these. Who are we looking at over here? Kyler Murray wouldn't be bad. So, we can hop in here. Josh Jacobs got taken. Yeah, no, I can see that. So, yeah, Kyler Murray wouldn't be bad at all. In no way would that be an issue. Mondre Stevenson isn't bad. Tom Brady could be good. Get the Mike Evans, Tom Brady stack. That could be pretty good, but... No, of course we're 1 pick away in both of them. So this one happened first. So let's go into it. We've already got Mark Andrews. I am a Ja'Marr Chase believer, so I think we're going to go with him. I'm a believer in him right now. I have him in my draft. I'm trying to trade for him in my other league. I believe in the guy, so I'm messing this up. So this is us. We got, Chris Olave. Probably Edwards-Helaire here. Or Devontae Smith. I'm going to go Devontae Smith. I like him quite a bit. He's been putting up some pretty good weeks here lately. So we're good at receiver now. We got our 3 receivers. Probably go for Tom Brady on this next one. But we honestly might be able to wait a while. But we'll see exactly what happens here. Let's see how the other draft is going. So we're 1 pick away there. We're a lot of picks away here. Let's just check out the board here. So yeah, we got Mark Andrews, Ja'Marr Chase. It's going to take a while to get back around, but I am a Ja'Marr Chase believer. I think that they will figure it out, and he could be, league winner type guy, which might sound crazy. Like, obviously, people would have thought that before, but come in here. I'm thinking we're good at receiver, so come down here. I think Tom Brady. I know that's reaching a little bit. We could have gone for a flex Keenan Allen or something, but which once again is kind of crazy to say. But, it's just interesting how different these drafts are now. If you compare a draft board right now to how it was in the beginning of the season. But it's interesting. It's definitely interesting to look at. So now we're 10 picks away, 20 picks away, so our teams are looking decent. I'm a fan of them so far. Probably the bad thing that I did was get Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson, but, could have grabbed Kirk Cousins too, but I don't want to do that. He might be my backup, so grab him way later. Where's he at? Damn, I went way down. Kirk Cousins 114 ADP. Yeah, so we got a while until he comes around. He took Stevenson's. Yeah, we're still very far away in both of these. But that's why it's nice to kind of get in both at once. And we'll, see the projected and whatever. I don't think anything here's necessarily been terrible so far. Ja'Marr Chase and Mark Andrews is perfectly fine with me. But yeah, so once again, we already had the top 3 guys gone by the time it got to us. So now we're going to look at, something later on, right? So I might go Alvin Kamara here if I can. That'd be really nice. He's definitely getting a little bit underrated even after putting up a decent performance. So could grab him. I don't really want Swift. Waddle with the QB situation there. Don't super want that right now. DeAndre Hopkins, he's going to miss this week 6 that happens. So I think I'll go Alvin Kamara. I'd be perfectly fine with that. So just wait for these 2 guys to pick. Hopefully I don't pick Alvin Kamara, but we'll see. How are other teams looking? Barkley and Devontae Adams. AJ Brown, and yeah, so that's the stack that I have in one of my other leagues, like one of my bigger ones. It's very nice, I've got to say. So we'll take Alvin Kamara there. Still got to wait for it to come back to us, but that one's still really far away. So let's look at this board. We got Jalen Brown, Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, and Chris Godwin. That team looks good. This team, nobody's team is necessarily looking terrible here. We're very early, and all these guys are going to have already been doing decent. This one might be iffy here, but that first week's going to suck for him. And then Gabe Davis here, I don't know how exactly. Like, he had that big game, but I just traded him away because they were on, 3 receptions for 100, high hundreds yards. He had 30 fantasy points. But so we're looking at pretty much whatever here. We don't have a certain position we're going for. These three, not huge on. I think Aaron Jones is the pick here. We're getting very good value on him. Very good value. So Alvin Kamara and Aaron Jones, perfectly fine with me. I was bad on Alvin Kamara. I was very against him. I think he might get suspended. It's hard to tell. And then nobody's been talking about it though. And then also with the other stuff that's going on, just like he wasn't looking great. So I thought I made the right choice, but then he looked good this last weekend. So it's hard to tell. But we can come in here and look at exposure here. So yeah, so we'll go to live, come down here, come to exposure, and let's see. So Saquon Barkley we drafted a lot. That was good. Dalvin Cook, that was good. Kendrick Bourne, that wasn't great. Jalen Hurts, I was super high on him. I was very high on him. Drafted him a lot. Travis Etienne, that clearly did not work out too much as of yet. But, that's all right. Jerry Jeudy, that one hasn't looked great. Hunter Renfrow hasn't looked great. Some of these are like later round guys as well here. Trey Lance, obviously, that screwed me a lot. That screwed me a ton. I'm working with, when it drafted, Zach Wilson for me at the end in a lot of leagues. So that really screwed me. But KJ Osborne hasn't been awful. Jalen Tolbert hasn't looked good. Aaron Jones, he's picking it up. Robinson has been bad. Parker's not really done much. Joe Mixon hasn't done much as of yet. I think that'll pick up. Sutton has looked okay. Hines, I wanted as my backup a lot. And then, last week, he could have won me so much. And then this happened. He got hurt. Jarvis Landry looked great week 1, I think. And that was it. But we are going with... Yeah, dude, Rashad Bateman. Yeah, okay, picked him for me. That's fine. Yeah, I'm completely cool with that. Rashad Bateman there is completely fine with me. So we're about to come up again, though. So, yeah, you look at that stuff, and it's just hard to tell before the season. But, Travis Etienne, drafted him a bit, I guess. I don't remember that at all, but drafted him a bit. Hopefully you can pick it up for those ones. But obviously, the ones I'm concerned about the most are the bigger ones, and it's looking decent on the amount. Because the return changes every week. There was one week I was up, a crazy amount. And then the next week it goes down. And then the next week it goes up. So it's hard to tell. Every week it's going to change. You just got to go back and look at the end, pretty much. It's not like the other leagues where you can go in and do stuff yourself. If there's a league where, somebody drafted Trey Lance and Trey Lance only is their QB, they're probably just a bit screwed, right? So we got our flex there. We do need another running back. Jamal Williams. He's looked great. I mean, he's looked amazing. He's buys this week, but he's looked amazing. And even when Swift was in, he was getting all the touchdowns. So not complaining about that at all. So we can come in here. Yeah, get the Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase stack. I'll take that. I do think they'll switch it around. I am a believer right now in Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow and all that. I think they'll switch it around. I think the coach will stop being an idiot and call some good plays. It's like you just don't see the motion that they use for Cooper Kupp or Justin Jefferson. They just don't use the motion like they do and stuff like that. And, they're just, the coach is, it's like they're telling Jamar Chase, hey, get open. They're not doing anything to help him. There were so many times where he's just completely smothered on the sideline and he just gets it thrown to him anyway. He can do something about it, So, hopefully they figure it out. I'm thinking that they will. We're about to go again here. So, yeah, we still need a receiver. Rashad Bateman again? I mean, he's looked decent. He hasn't looked bad. But probably Rashad Bateman and Mark Andrews. You don't want, stacks like that. So come in here. Garrett Wilson's looked good. And that, you're getting down into this. Interesting. Kenneth Walker's that low. Why? That's interesting. I wonder if we can snag him later. But we will be taking, I think, Garrett Wilson is the primary choice there. So we'll go with that. And now we're 18 picks away. I'm hoping we can get Kenneth Walker. That would be so nice. But we're pretty far away in both of these. I'm just waiting. It's hard to go through and look at every single thing now, but this guy still doesn't have a QB. Interesting. But yeah, so we still got a while. Nothing too crazy here. So just waiting it out. But yeah, like I said, this is more for research purposes of seeing just how different it is nowadays with this stuff as compared to the others. So yeah, you can see this here. This is like a very inflated number because I started with 100 in here. That's all I put in. They matched me on that, and then I've put no more money into this. So this is all winnings in that, and then obviously I got the stuff up here as well. Yeah, like this number here, 96 in winnings, changes all the time. So I like to be transparent about like the stuff that I'm doing. Like I'm not going to advocate to draft somebody unless I'm actually drafting them. Like Jalen Hurts, I was super targeting Jalen Hurts as much as I could, And obviously there's going to be times where you're like, oh, I bet I can get him next round. And then it doesn't happen. And then he end up with not as much as he would like. But, Kirk Cousins vouched for him a lot. He hasn't pulled off like I wanted him to. Irv Smith really hasn't. He is not at all. But Njoku's been good. Goddard, you're going to see a lot of difference in tight ends here. But, if we go to running backs, Saquon, Dalvin Cook, Travis Etienne. These two were obviously good. This one not the greatest, but then it kind of picks up from there. Some of these guys have been just fine. You come way down, you're going to be looking, Dameon Pierce, I got a little bit of. Kenneth Walker, got a little bit of. But, Alvin Kamara, I tried to avoid pretty much. So, I just want to make sure I'm not, So we're pretty close here. DJ Moore, I like him. I was talking about him earlier. I want him to succeed, but it has not looked good for him. So what are we looking for? We got a QB. We're probably looking for a tight end now. I will happily take David Njoku. Happily take him. I would have no problem with that at all. So if you could not take him, that'd be great. You already have 2 tight ends. You definitely don't need one. So take him. Come over here. 1 pick away. 2 picks away. Yep, this one is first. So we're looking at probably a receiver. Jamal Williams could be good, though. A.J. Dillon, not really what I'm looking for. Yeah, I think Jerry Jeudy could be decent. I think they could. He gets some deep shots, right? He can be your boom or bust guy a little bit. So then we're here. I like how they decided to sync up pretty much. So over here, I can go for backup QB. We'll go Brian Robinson. He should be decent. Looks like he can come in there even after getting shot, literally. Crazy how he did that. That is a strong guy. I couldn't imagine But yeah, he got shot in the leg, and then he's going to go out there and play in the NFL. Like 6 weeks ago. It's not like he did that when he's like 12. Like it was 6 weeks ago, he got shot in the leg. And now he's about to, he just took snaps in the NFL. Absolutely insane. So, yeah, we're looking at, Jamal Williams. Crazy how DJ Moore was a third-round draft pick. Like I said, I like DJ Moore, so I would draft him. Just never worked out. We'll do that. But, I mean, yeah, what round are we looking at here? We're in round 8 now. And DJ Moore is still on the board. So, now we're very far away. Once again, go back into here. Look at this exposure a little bit. So, QBs, we got the most, Jalen Hurts and Trey Lance. Trey Lance could have been good, and he got injured. Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr, these are the backups that I got that I was mainly going for. And it worked out pretty well. Got a little bit of Lamar and stuff like that, but, not really much anybody else. Go look at running back Saquon. That's probably like the best thing that I ever could have possibly done. I have him in most things here, 34.4%. So he's like my most drafted player. He's literally my most drafted player. Yeah. So we're tied with Dalvin Cook. That's crazy. So yeah, we can come in and look at receivers. Kendrick Bourne I got a lot of, just, as in this last round, right? Jerry Jeudy I liked a lot. Like I said, I think they can pick it up. Hunter Renfrow got injured a little bit there, but he gets some targets. Keenan Allen hasn't looked, he's been injured. This I was kind of, messing up. And I mean, you look at a lot of these, and it's a lot more of late round guys, where I was just targeting certain guys really, really late. But yeah, so there's no guy here that was like one of my first picks that I got a ton of, besides maybe like Keenan Allen. Maybe a little Jerry Jeudy, but his ADP was 45 in that. So a little different. Tight ends, a lot of these guys once again are later. David Njoku has been good so far. He is not. He hasn't really. Goddard's been good. Schultz hasn't really done that much. Darren Waller hasn't really done much. Try to go for some of those higher up guys, but it's hard to do sometimes when you want other ones. Kelsey, I have like the least, but I have him in one of the big ones, so that's nice. But yeah, so it's very interesting. 4 picks away here, so we'll just wait for this. It's hard to know how close these are going to be, but now if we're looking here, could go Brian Robinson again. Now we're looking at backups. We have my entire starting lineup so far already, so we're good there. Yeah, we could go Brian Robinson. Could go Devin Duvernay. Is there anybody that I'm like surprised to see down here? Not really. Brian Robinson just got taken. So yeah, we'll probably go Devin Duvernay here. I'm good with that. No, I will not. Because I have Mark Andrews. See, I'm glad I remembered that. Damon Harris is kind of hurt in that. So now we're in an interesting spot. I've already got Jamar Chase. So there's Tyler Boyd, right? But it just like went off the screen pretty much. So that sucks. Didn't want to draft Trevor Lawrence there, but it kind of just teleported my thing off. So that's all right. But come into here. Khalil Herbert could be all right. John Dotson could be all right. Could get Kirk as the backup. That's what I like to do, kind of. We can get Kirk. Kirk is the backup. Could go great with those guys. Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook both start going crazy. It's good for Kirk. And we'll just see how different these teams turned out, kind of. Like I said, this just would have been a very, very short video if I didn't do this. So I think I might end it a little early just because I need to upload it in like pretty soon here. So I'll go Tyler Boyd now. But yeah. So I just wanted kind of see, let's go through it really quick. They're going to be about the same. So we can come in here. We can look at the actual draft board, just how different it is. This, yeah, makes sense. This is different. That's not usually like that. Stephon Diggs is not usually this high. Travis Kelce, he would be a first-round draft pick maybe near the end, right? So a lot of it's different. Nick Chubb in the first is crazy, right? Like you're taking 3 QBs in the first. Probably like every one of these drafts. Those 3 are going to be gone. Maybe Mahomes even in there. Jamar Chase isn't even a first-round pick anymore. Like, it's definitely... Dalvin Cook is not first round anymore. Joe Mixon, not first round anymore. Jonathan Taylor, not first round anymore. So I'm not super concerned about the picks anymore. It's going to auto-pick it. That's completely fine. I'm not too worried about that. The only thing that sucks is when it drafts like 4 QBs for you. But then again, in some leagues it probably saved me because Trey Lance got hurt. So, it's very interesting to see just how different these are. And like I said, I did want to kind of show everybody what I was going with a lot of the time. When I come in here and I look at these and I go to my exposure, I was drafting Saquon a lot. I was drafting Dalvin Cook a lot, and I still have a lot of faith in him. I was super high on Jalen Hurts. Some of these I was obviously right on. Some of these I was wrong on. But this was like way later that I was drafting him. I would draft him at crazy value when I would get him, but he would drop a lot. Etienne, I did not realize I was drafting him this much at all. I did not listen to that one guy that was talking about him. I was kind of just not super high on him or anything, but I guess just in quite a few drafts, I was just like, good value or something there, so I took him. But, some of these are definitely more interesting. It's kind of hard to tell because, Jalen Tolbert, you're getting him really late. KJ Osborne, I know I got crazy value on all the time, so I would take him, So it's kind of hard to see, but, just interesting to show you guys exactly what's going on here. And, that's probably where I'll wrap it up. Like I said, I got to upload this in a few minutes, so I think most of my stuff is turning out pretty good. I like the pick'ems a lot more than the actual drafts themselves, but, we'll be coming up with something here soon. They don't really have a ton out right now, but we will see exactly what happens there. And then obviously we'll have our Sunday stuff, but that's not going to happen until Friday. Tomorrow we're just going to talk about like news and whatever. So this will all be coming Thursday. Don't worry about that. Just wanted to kind of see, go over my exposure, go over kind of how new things were. But I'm very interested to see how like Jonathan Taylor isn't a first round pick anymore. Crazy. But that's interesting. Thanks to anybody who stopped by. Had a perfect weekend. Hopefully we can keep that up here. But I will see you guys tomorrow.